Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
One day after Rockford police detectives arrested on child porn charges, he admits to the crime. Court records detail multiple images found on the cop's phone.
I need anybody who knows anything to come forward.
That's a mother's plea following a tragic ending of the search for her missing son. She urges anyone with information to speak up.
And Rockford City Market's wrapping up its summer season. Vendors look back on a successful year after COVID threw off their bottom line in 2020. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. A Rockford police officer accused of possessing child pornography appears before a judge.
Detective Joshua Grover was arrested yesterday. Today's court records show Grover admitted to investigators they would find child porn images if they searched his cell phone. Officers looked through the device and say they found numerous illegal videos and images. Grover was bailed out of the Winnebago County Jail on $5,000 bond. He's due back in court October 26th.
The mother of an Illinois State University student is still searching for answers. Jelani Day's body turned up in a river. He was a graduate student at ISU. Jelani's goal was to become a speech pathologist. After he was reported missing, police found his car in Peru, Illinois. They couldn't locate him. Then earlier this month, the body was found floating near the bank of the Illinois River. The coroner confirmed it was Jelani yesterday. Now his mother wants to know how this happened to her son.
Jelani's been to Florida, Jelani's been in Jamaica, Jelani been Puerto Rico. And I sent him 2 hours away to go to grad school. And now I can't talk to him no more. I need answers. I want my baby to have answers.
The cause of Jelani's death is still unknown. Bloomington police say foul play or not, they consider it unusual.
A Winnebago County man is behind bars after police say he hit a woman in the head with a gun. Eric Vance is charged with domestic battery and possession of a firearm with no FOID card. Investigators say Vance struck a woman with a handgun early Thursday morning. Officers say the victim's head was injured. 3 more firearms were recovered from his home. Vance was booked into the Winnebago County Jail. We're learning more about the deadly shooting rampage at a supermarket in the suburbs of Memphis, Tennessee. The gunman is 29-year-old Ook Tang. Police say he was a third-party vendor at the Kroger and came to the store almost daily before the shooting. Officers say he did not appear to target anyone specifically. 1 person was killed and 14 others wounded in the shooting rampage that was over in a matter of minutes. Police are now examining several electronic devices seized from his home to try to determine a motive. The gunman died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound shortly after police arrived on the scene.
An expansive abortion rights bill makes it through one half of the U.S. Congress. House Democrats passed the historic legislation after they say the Supreme Court failed to stop a controversial anti-abortion bill in Texas.
The federal legislation, however, faces an uphill battle. D.C.'s Raquel Martin has more as she keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
The bill is passed.
Friday, the House passed a sweeping abortion rights bill to protect and expand abortion access in all 50 states.
A historic day for women.
Illinois Democratic Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky helped lead the charge.
Will end the horrifying state-level attacks.
She says the bill would be transformative for women and healthcare providers in Republican-led states.
Women are coming to the state of Illinois. All of the border states around us have limitations on access to abortion. This is about freedom.
The bill passed along party lines with just 1 Democrat opposed. Republicans across the board call the plan extreme.
It isn't about freedom for women, it's about death for babies.
Missouri Republican Vicky Hartzler says the bill attacks states' rights.
Well, it would nullify the laws that Missouri has put in place to protect women and protect unborn babies.
She and Michigan Republican Congressman Tim Walberg say Democrats have gone too far.
It ignores the reality that life is sacred.
It would allow for abortion at any stage.
The bill's passage is largely symbolic. Senate Republicans have already vowed to block the measure. But the issue isn't going away. Come this December, the Supreme Court will hear oral arguments over a restrictive Mississippi abortion law. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
The crisis at the southern border inspires the Chicago Aldermanic Black Caucus and local Haitian activists to speak out. They say the situation points to racist immigration policies. The group's demands include an executive order to stop the deportation of Haitians and pro bono support for Haitians to apply for political asylum. They also want Haitians granted protective status to be allowed to work, pay taxes, and become self-supportive.
We can give asylum to Afghan refugees. We can give asylum to just about anybody else. But when it comes to darker people, it seems like the rules are different.
According to data by the Associated Press, Haitians are granted asylum at the lowest rate of any nationality seeking it in the U.S.
A state-line animal shelter continues to fight a deadly disease outbreak. Noah's Ark in Rockford will be closed again tomorrow due to an ongoing distemper issue. Staff have been cleaning the facility daily to ensure pets are as healthy as possible before reopening. Half a dozen kittens died from the disease earlier this month. The sanctuary says the best way to prevent distemper is to get your pets vaccinated.
Tonight's your last chance to check out Rockford City Market, at least the outdoor version.
Dylan Sraki spoke with vendors and visitors to see how the season is shaping out. And Dylan, people tell you it's night and day to compare to business in 2020.
Yeah, that's right, Eric and Mimi. Vendors say after a down year in 2020, the City Market's new and improved footprint led to an increase in sales throughout this summer. Judy Johnson, owner of Quixotic Bakery, tells me the market felt crowded almost every Friday night. She tells me it was a breath of fresh air after the pandemic contributed to a lack of customers last year. She hopes it sticks around moving forward and thinks it could lead to a banner year for local entrepreneurs as COVID restrictions continue to loosen.
I like the bigger footprint. I think it gives people a little more room to spread out. It gives us a little more room for growth. I always kind of felt like we were kind of landlocked here for the last few years and prior to COVID. And so I think it gives a lot more opportunity for more vendors to participate.
Coming up at 6, one Forest City native shares with me his favorite part about coming to City Market year after year. For now, live in Rockford for your home team, I'm Dylan Sraki.
All right, Dylan, enjoy that last City Market. Thanks.
The director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention endorses Pfizer's COVID vaccine booster.
The announcement means boosters can begin for some U.S. adults. Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
Good morning, everyone.
President Biden says Pfizer booster shots will be available immediately for eligible Americans.
That group makes up 60 million Americans.
And the president says that includes him.
I'll be getting my booster shot.
Overnight, in an unusual move, CDC Director Rochelle Walensky went beyond her agency's independent advisory committee and approved boosters for a broader group of people.
Withholding access for boosters from these people and communities would only worsen the inequities that I have committed to fight against.
The list now includes people over 65, those with underlying health conditions, and frontline workers.
Those on the front lines, in hospitals and classrooms, and those in crowded settings who have put themselves in harm's way on a daily basis.
The White House says booster shots are free and will be available at 80,000 locations across the country. But West Virginia Senator Shelley Moore Capito isn't happy with the decision-making process and is slamming the CDC for what she calls mixed messaging.
The CDC is so confusing the American public. They put out two conflicting opinions in one day.
The CDC says they're still analyzing data about whether to recommend booster shots for people who got Moderna and Johnson & Johnson. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
Well, good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Marcus Walter here at City Market in downtown Rockford, and it's a really fun event this evening. We have a lot of people out enjoying the festivities, enjoying the activities, and for the final one, the weather is holding out for us just fine. So if you're thinking about coming down, I say go for it. But let's talk about what we are dealing with, because we are talking about first the Skycam, the Mercy of Skytrack weather camera, because it shows that we have a few clouds across downtown Rockford, and we also have clouds stretching across parts of Wisconsin and down into central parts of Illinois. Now, this is all along a front that's continuing to sweep into our region, and as we take a look at the day planner, well, it shows that because of that front, we have some rain chances out there. So we are talking about the chance for some rain showers, maybe a thunderstorm, but most likely just scattered rain showers as we head throughout the next couple of hours all the way through midnight. And as I'm talking, I can even feel the raindrops falling a little bit here in downtown Rockford. But as we take a look at the satellite radar, we can see the rain showers stretching really all across, or really from a line from southern Wisconsin all the way down toward the Bloomington, Illinois area. And this is all progressing toward the east ahead of that front and also along that front. Now, as we take a look at the futurecast, it does show that we have rain showers out there as we head towards 7 p.m. and then we'll see wet weather likely intensifies and moves farther east as we head toward 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. But as we head throughout the overnight, we are expecting drier air to move in as that front continues to progress toward the east. And then by the time we get to Saturday morning, we're talking about overall bright and sunny conditions with a few high clouds moving in throughout the day. Now, as we talk about the potential rain, we're not expecting a lot of rain to accumulate, but some areas can pick up trace amounts upwards of 1/5 of an inch of rain, so just under 1/4 of an inch of rain. But it is rain that we need, considering that we're still dealing with drought, and drought conditions have expanded across parts of our viewing area. But as we focus back in on today and just the high temperatures that we saw today, we saw temperatures reach into the low 80s. So it was a warm day, and part of that was due in fact to the wind helping to more or less mix the atmosphere and warm us up a little bit. And at the same time, we did have a good amount of sunshine as well. All of that played a part in warming us up. But as we talk about current conditions out there now, with some of the rain showers out there, we've cooled just a little bit, but still we have temperatures generally speaking in the upper 70s, and it feels great out here at the City Market. As we talk about wind, that's one thing we have been dealing with today. Wind sustained anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour, so it has been a very windy day, but we are talking about lighter wind as we head toward tonight, and that brings us to the forecast for tonight, because eventually we will see temperatures drop down into the upper 40s, pretty seasonal for this time of year, and we'll notice that wet weather exiting after midnight. The 7-day forecast shows that we are expecting some dry conditions ahead. It will be a cooler day on Saturday. You'll notice the temperature is seasonal for this time of year in the low 70s, but a warm front on Sunday will bring temperatures in the 80s as we head throughout the day Sunday, and we'll likely stay in the 80s throughout much of this coming work week. So if you love that summer feel, you'll get another dose of it as we head toward next week. But we're here at City Market in downtown Rockford enjoying ourselves. We'll send it back to you all in the studio.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
I'm live at Titans Stadium for our overtime game of the week. Tonight it's the Boylan Titans hosting the Hononegah Indians in what will be by far the biggest Nick-10 game of the night tonight. This is a game that you always want to see, always one of the best matchups of the year. Now, Boylan defeated Hononegah back in the spring season 21-7. That game left a bitter taste in the mouths of the Indians. This fall, though, Hononegah opened with a hard-fought win against Harlem, and since that moment, the Indians have been in the driver's seat in the conference. The Titans, though, will pose the biggest threat to Hononegah since that opening game. Boylan lost in Week 2 to Belvedere North. Since then, the Titans have posted 2 impressive wins, including a 40-0 win against Auburn last Friday night. What a great rivalry game this is. And when I asked the 2 head coaches this week what the common thread is in this rivalry, they gave me the same answer.
You know, the common thread that I would say anytime there's a Boylan-Hononegah matchup is I think there's mutual respect. I respect their players and their coaching staff. I know that they're going to be well-prepared athletes, that they work hard to get ready during the week, and I hope they feel the same about us. You know, we always know it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be, you know, a battle, but it's going to be, I think there's respect out there.
The coaches do a great job on both sides, I think, preparing. We've got all the respect in the world for Coach Zim and his staff up there. Our kids know their kids, so I think it's a natural rivalry. So again, we know things about those kids. They're good athletes. They're well prepared.
Now there are some more big games tonight in the Nick 10, including Belvedere North trying to stay undefeated playing at Auburn. Jefferson plays at Belvedere, East at Harlem, and Freeport at Guilford. Other key games around the area include North Boone at Byron, Winnebago at Dixon, Lena Winslow at Fulton, Forest at Nicolina, and EPC at Dakota. There is one other really big game tonight that a lot of folks in the area will be very interested in, and that'll take place at Pecatonica High School. The Dupac Rivermen will be hosting Decatur St. Teresa. St. Teresa is the #1 ranked team in the state in Class 2A. DuPac is ranked 11th in Class 3A. Both teams are undefeated. DuPac had an opening on its schedule because its previous opponent, Urbana, canceled. This week, DuPac was able to land this better matchup against St. Teresa. The DuPac guys are thrilled with how things worked out.
The way we presented it is we had a lot of games taken away from us last season, so we didn't want to necessarily take an opportunity to take another game away from these guys. So I think that they're pretty excited once they realize who the opponent it is and what it kind of will mean if we can go out and play well against them. It'll give us a gauge kind of where we stand. You know, we've had a pretty good season up until this point. Hopefully that continues, but you know, we always tell the kids we're never going to be the best if we don't go out and play the best, and obviously they're one of the best in the state.
I mean, obviously we always want to play the best competition to get prepared for postseason, so I think it's just a great opportunity. We know that they're a great team, but we also know we're a great team, and I just think it's going to be a battle all night.
Be sure to join David Greenberg and me tonight for all the Week 5 action on Overtime. That comes your way live at 11 p.m. on Fox 39. One baseball note, the Cubs lost to the Cardinals this afternoon 8-5. The Cardinals have won 13 consecutive games. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Marcus will have a final weather check in just a minute.
But first, here's a look at what's to come on News Nation tonight.
Tonight on the Donlin Report, controversy at the CDC, why a new recommendation on COVID booster shots only applies to some people, and the issues causing the head of the agency to go against members of her advisory panel. Now here's Leland Vittert with a preview of On Balance.
Thanks, Joe. Fact-checking the White House. How many of the Haitian migrants removed from the border could be coming to a city near you? Plus, why Black Lives Matter activists are now warning of a new uprising. That's coming up on Balance tonight, followed by News Nation Prime.
You can catch News Nation tonight on cable and satellite stations you see here. You can also head to newsnation.com. Now let's head back out to Marcus for another look at our weekend forecast.
And as we talk about your forecast, well, we're dealing with quieter conditions here in downtown Rockford, but the First Warn Interactive Radar brought to you by Rockford Auto Glass and more. It shows that we have wet weather moving across the viewing area.
All right, thanks, Marcus.
Stay safe.